Alright, these circumstances might not be ideal, but I guess we'll give it a go. This is a note to Robert Cialdini, author of The Weapons of Influence, and we're going to try to explain the first chapter. 3 questions will guide us in this. So, what are fixed action patterns amongst animals, and how are they different from some types of human functioning? Second question is, what makes automatic responding in humans so attractive and so dangerous? And the third question would be, what are the 3 components of a weapon of automatic influence? Alright, let's go. So, ethology is the study of humans in their natural habitat, and therefore it's actually closely related to anthropology, psychology, sociology. So, let's start with turkey mothers and polecats. Turkey mothers are very nurturing and caring and take very good care of their children who do cheep. They can, however, viciously murder chicks who do not do chip. There are actually good reasons for that. They might be unhealthy and therefore is a danger for the other ones. Now, polecats, on the other hand, are like their natural enemies. So turkey mothers become very hostile and aggressive to polecats. Then they did an experiment in which the polecat is like fake with a cheap machine inside of it. And the turkey mother takes care of the polecat. Once the cheap stops, the mother attacks it again. This is a very good example of automatic behavior. So, habits are extremely powerful and exist out of 3 different pieces. We have the cue, we have the trigger, and then we eventually have the habit itself. Now, this is not the topic of this video, so we will continue to the because reason. Studies have shown that if you have a request and you add the word because, for example, can I skip the cue because it's urgent, the response rate of a positive response, they hugely increase. Because is the trigger that allows the action to be performed. Now, there are many reasons why humans are more apex than other predators, and there is a reason why predators are more intelligent than non-predators. But overall, humans are a lot more flexible in their brain matter, and they have a huge flexibility between nature versus nurture. But that is also a topic for another day. So let's go to the first bias that we have, which is like expensive is good. It's cheap, so it's bad. Slow quality is unhealthy. It's expensive, so it is good. And many people are duped by this. The second one would be, if the expert says it's true. Many horrible things and many mistakes happen because people trust experts, and they forget that experts can be tired, lazy, or just plain wrong. Be careful for this. Now, life is complex and it's rapidly moving, so we cannot think and analyze and over-cognitize everything. We need shortcuts because they are effective and necessary. They've kept us alive for millions of years. If there's a snake on the ground or a tiger in the bush, you don't have time to think or talk. That's why, for example, with snakes, you will usually make a weird jump because your visual cortex makes you do that. Because if you take the time to even see the snake properly, you're dead. Well, you're not per se dead, but you know what I'm talking about. Now to move on to another paragraph, basically. So if it's personal, we take a lot more care in analyzing and researching stuff. If it's not personal, we don't care that much because the brain is a server mechanism and we are actually unable to care for somebody else. I mean, we can take care of our offspring and our kids and our friends, But in essence, the brain is only designed to take care of the body, which makes a lot of sense. So nobody cares. Of course nobody cares. It's normal, it's okay. There's a lot of complexity in life, there's time urgency, there is emotional arousal which can be exploited, and there's also mental fatigue. Therefore, shortcuts are effective and necessary. So there is this thing that was explained, it's called Captainitis. He is in charge, he is the expert, he carries a uniform, he has a certificate, so he knows best, he will save us. And as I said, a lot of horrible things and mistakes and suffering are caused because of this lack of critical thinking. If an expert says so, it must be true. This can and will be exploited in your life many times. So, if we go to the next chapter, we then come to mimics. So, in nature, mimics are basically animals who copy behavior of other animals in order to exploit them. You can think of flies and spiders and plants who copy hormones or pheromones to attract other animals to basically mate with them or just eat them, plainly eat them, which is the most common one. So there are like murderously hungry females in a lot of spiders and insects, for example. Now, viruses use critical features of hormones and nutrients in order to intrude the host. Remember this. Males, for example, are so easily bamboozled by female attraction factors. This is not only for insects as well, but also for primates. Basically, the entire nature revolves about female exploiting male horniness. You must be aware of this. So the doors of perception are extremely critical. Now, a very important principle in psychology is the contrast principle. For example, if you want to buy a house, the real estate agent is going to take you to maybe crappy houses who are overpriced because they're not really supposed to be sold. They're supposed to make a psychological contrast to make you more agreeable into the real sale. This is the same by cars, for example. Or you buy a car of 100,000 and then because of all the options, it eventually becomes 120,000. The sale is not in the car because you want the car. The sale is in all the extra options that you don't need, but they are sold to you by a good salesman. So, or a more relevant personal one would be, for example, attractiveness of females, such as Playboy, porn, whatever. You see a lot of attractive females, like the most hyper-attractive females, the top of the top, and therefore normal, average girls become plain and boring. And although these persons are very attractive and very healthy, it's this fucked up visual contrast principle that basically ruins your love life and a good life and a good quality of life in general. Now, it's important to understand that humans behave in rigid mechanical patterns, and in essence, shortcuts and habits own us. Now, predators, as I said, are predators for a reason. We are, amongst other stuff, we are masters of deception. Like the tiger lies in ambush. Why? Because he understands its prey better than the prey itself. So he behaves and acts in response to the prey in order to benefit from it, basically to eat it. The tiger is able to cognitively place itself in the place of the deer and therefore able to ambush it. This is basic human behavior. Now, the brain can only take care of itself and its offspring, obviously, because if you don't survive the genetic chain of things. I don't want you to feel bad about this. We all fail many times. It's very human, it is very normal. What I want you to do is to know this and to see this. That's what this channel is all about. Okay, I hope you got something from this. Peace out.